Hello everyone, I am Durga Saujanya, Assistant Professor from Department of ECE, MLR Institute of Technology. I am going to give the video lectures for the subject Embedded System Design. Here our today's topic is debugging techniques. So this comes under testing on host machine in the unit 3. So in previous session we have discussed what are the tools used for getting the embedded software into the target system. So what are the tools used for copying our embedded software files into our target system? So the tools used for are the probe, programmer, in-circuit emulator, ROM emulator, flash, monitor. So these are the tools used for embedding our software into the target machine. So now in this present session we are going to discuss about how to test in the host machine and how to find the bugs in the development process and how can we exercise all the code and how can we develop the repeatable tests and how to analyze the test results and what are the basic techniques used for testing. So these are all called as debugging techniques. So basically debugging techniques are nothing but, so those are used for checking for errors in the main program or in the process, and if any errors are there we need to modify that and we need to make our program error free. So after compilation, after getting the image file, so how can we test our sample program or sample application on the host machine on real time? So this is regarding the testing of our application on real time. So next, first one is testing on host machine. Here while developing the embedded system software, the developer will have a lots of bugs will be there in our program. So they can reduce the number of bugs by modifying the program and modifying the memory allocated issues depending on the errors developed in the program file. So they can modify and they can easily solve the errors. If the errors are syntax errors, so they can modify the program part and they can solve the errors, and if the errors are related to memory errors, so they can easily change the memory chip and they can solve the errors based on the bug assigned to that. Here the testing and quality assurance process may reduce the number of bugs by some factor. Here if there are number of bugs are more in our final testing, so it indicates that the quality assurance will be very less. So here we need to release our product with fewer bugs which are indicating with the software or hardware. So intolerant of buggy embedded system is the best for releasing our product into the market. So here the testing and debugging techniques will play an important role, so before releasing our product into the market. So here how can we test our host machine? So first in the host machine, first we need to find the bugs in the development process. In the development process is nothing but, so in the program itself, in development of software program, compilation, so in this process we need to find our bugs early in the development process. So if we have found the bugs early in our development process, it is easy to modify and change our errors. So exercise all the code, develop and repeatable and reusable tests by conducting the repeatable and reusable tests, and leave an audit trail for test results. So these are the methods used for testing our host machine. So first find the bugs early in the development process. So if we have found the bugs in the development process, that means in the code part or in the program part at the starting development starting stage, so then it saves our time and money and it gives an idea about how many bugs are there and how much possible to develop our process or is it possible to continue with our development process, or it is required to stop at that stage only. So, but the target system is available early in the process, or the hardware may be buggy or unstable. So, because hardware engineers are still working on it. So, if the target system is available, so then it is easy to find the bugs in the development process only. Second one is exercise all of the code. So here, so we need to exercise the code. That means we need to modify the program part, and we need to conduct reusable test. We need to compile this again. So we need to use all exceptional cases. So in the program part itself, we need to use try and except catch. So these are the class which are used in the program part to check, to use any unexceptional cases. So if any exceptional cases occur to our program to cause the errors, so we may use these clauses for recovering from the errors. So here exercise all the exceptional cases, even though if they are never happened, so we need to use those cases to exercise our code to make the code error free. So but it is impossible to exercise all codes in the target system. So it is possible in the host system, but it is not possible for all the cases in the target system. For example, if the laser printer may have the code to deal with situation, so that means whenever the user presses one of the buttons, when the paper jumps, but in real time it is the test case. So here, so for the laser printer, if the printing stops at the process, so we can use one button which is used for checking for paper jam. So but in practical cases, it is wasting of one paper and wasting of time, and it may be an important document, it may be lost due to this checking process. So here we made to make paper jam and then press the button within a millisecond, then it is not very easy to do. So within the milliseconds, changing of that button pressing and changing of paper will not be possible in the real-time cases. Next, develop reusable and repeatable tests. Here, if repeatable tests are conducted for our program and reusable test cases with different examples and different case studies, if we have conducted the repeatable tests for our program, so then it is easy for less bugs and less errors. So example, in barcode scanner, while scanning it will show the previous scan results every time. So therefore it is difficult to find and fix. Leave an audit trail of test result. Here, so if any, so like a telegraph, it seems to work in the network environment. So but here, leave an audit trail of test result means here we need to mention the result of previous test cases. So depends on the previous test cases result, we need to modify our program and we need to conduct again retest the program and we need to conduct the audit trial for our main program. So it is not possible in all the cases. So in some cases it is possible, but by checking on the previous test results and for each case and by analyzing all the data, and it will not be possible in the real-time cases, which is including with time critical responses. So next one is basic technique to test. Here for target system, to test the target system, here we need to use a basic technique. Here the left hand side will shows the target system test machine test system, and right hand side will shows the test system for host machine. Here the hardware independent code on the two sides of the is compiled from the same source. Here we need to compile, we have to use the same source for compiling the target system and the host system. So then only we are not having any bugs or errors. So the hardware independent on the two sides of the figure is compiled from the same source, and next the hardware dependent code has been replaced with test scaffold software on the right side. Here the host system is nothing but it is purely software development system, so that there is no possibility for hardware dependent code. So for hardware dependent code, we can use this test scaffold code from the keyboard, display and desk, whatever the peripherals we have. So we have to collect the program. The user will enter the data which is taken from the hardware in the host machine. But in the target machine, we can simply directly using the hardware dependent code. So the scaffold software provides the same entry points as does the hardware dependent code in the target system. So here in the hardware dependent code, so whatever the data entered by this hardware dependent code done in the target machine, the same data will be entered by the user in the host system. So by using the keyboard or disk or display. So it produces output onto the display or into the log file. So using this technique, we can design a clean interface between the hardware independent software and the rest of the code. So by using this method, we can easily check in the target system and in the host system. So easily whatever the hardware independent code and hardware dependent code. So here we are dividing our entire program into two parts, which is hardware independent and hardware dependent. So first we need to check hardware independent code in the both host machine and target machine. And next we have to check hardware dependent code. So we can check hardware dependent code directly in the target machine. So as it is possible, it is having the hardware in the target board. But in the host machine, we have only software development board. Therefore, we can replace that hardware dependent code with our test scaffold code, which is the same data entered with the user by using the keyboard and other peripherals. So these are the basic methods which is used for testing our host machine and target machine. So in this session, we have discussed the summary of previous session and how can we test on host machine. So in the test on host machine, so in first, how can we find the bugs in the development process? How can we exercise all of the code? So conducting repeated exercises and conducting repeated and reusable test cases and leaving an audit trail for test results, and what are the basic technique used for testing both host machine and target machine. So these are the topics covered in the present session. Thank you.